Now that takes me to the question. Welcome back. In case you just joined us, this is still Rise and Shine, and we like to add Saturday. And today, as always, we are bringing to you an exceptional, amazing, wonderful personality as our star of the week. Now, we've brought you stars from the music industries, from the movie industry. We've brought you comedians. We've brought you DJs, but we have never brought you this kind of personality. This is someone who has had 30 amazing years of being a broadcast, should I call it a broadcast professional? Of being a broadcaster. 30 years of mentoring, 30 years of training, hundreds of budding broadcasters within and outside the shows of Akwa Ibom State. 30 years of impactful living. Many know him as the boss of 20 questions, but we all know him as Akparawa Michael Bush. So join us for the first time and make welcome live on Spectrum Television, Akparawa Michael Bush.
Welcome,
sir. Thank you.
Good to have you on the show. I think that word you were looking for, when you say broadcasting, sometimes it waters it down. When you say journalism for 30 years, there is a respect that comes with journalism over broadcasting. You're like,
okay,
yeah, so let's do it, for 30 years, yes. 1993 till date. 1 till 30. It's been a long, long ride. How do you feel accomplishing 30 years?
Yeah, I feel 30ish. I feel really good. It's so nice to look back at time. It's time that's always defeating us. It's always dealing with us. But now I can, look back and even look down on time and just be happy with myself.
What because of the fact that you are a trailblazer also with regards to journalism and broadcasting in the Akwa Cross region, would like to know what was your background like? What influenced your decision to get into this particular race?
There was no background. My father was a fisherman, an illiterate man. May his soul rest in peace, died 2 years ago. My mother was a petty trader, still alive, like her husband, unschooled. So I grew up with them in a little fishing port in Cameroon. It's called Bekumu. I was there for 20 years of my life, and I went to primary school there, went upland for secondary school, still in the Republic of Cameroon. In Bekumu, where I grew up, and I think up until this moment, there's no car. It's a peninsula. It's surrounded by water. And the first time I saw a motor car was 13 years of my age. I was already 13, 1984, I should think. That's when I saw a motor car the first time. The first time I saw color TV or know anything about electricity or air conditioners would have been 3 years after 1984, about 1987, 1988, So those are the kind of places I grew up. So it was not a background. But my father had a 4-battery radio set. That is what inspired my radio journey. Anytime my father would go out fishing, I will carry the gospel cassettes. It used to be cassettes then, not in your generation, So I would insert it into the radio set and press the recording knob and try to run more commentaries, as I used to hear from Cameroonian and Cross River journalists, because at that time Cross River radio was also received in that part of Cameroon, and then the Cameroonian radio, they had one radio station and they had one TV station, and we all could receive the signal. So, and every time I played that back, I would love it. And I kept telling myself, as when I grew up, I would join the people inside the box. And that's how in 1991, 92, I found myself writing to the authorities of the AKBC, specifically Radio Akwa Ibom, that I wanted to come in there and present. It took about 1 year before they would finally give me my chance, but I took it in 1993. And here we are.
1993. I like the fact that you said one day I will be like the
Yes,
people inside
inside.
the box.
I always thought they were inside, really. I always thought they were inside.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something a child can go because
Absolutely.
sometimes we just see people from a distance and admire what they're
Absolutely,
doing.
yeah.
So, did you get any formal education between the time you started having this dream before you went for your first shot in 1993?
That's a great question. Formal education would be relative, because I could have had formal education, but it's not formal education to do with radio. I would tell you,
Yes.
until I'd finished doing all the big things I've done in the media world, we've gone on to become the first, and I think to date, the only private firm that had 1 hour live every Saturday on the network service of Radio Nigeria. We did that for a number of years. We went on to even Capital FM, the #1 radio station in Abuja, on the 12th floor of Radio House, owned by the federal government, to run for, I think, about 10 years, running programs every weekday. We've gone on to publish a national newspaper while we're in Abuja, published here, 2 published magazines, ran TV and radio programs, but throughout those periods, I was never, to use your word, a professional like that. I just did those things, just open my eyes and do them because I trained myself to do them. But I think at some point in 2008, Professor Peter Isu, who is today the Dean of the Faculty of Media and Communication Studies at the University of Uyo, forced me, literally, dragged me to do some journalism course at IIJ. And I'm also very proud to record that, in spite of the fact that he forced me there, at the end of the year-long course, I graduated overall best and all of that, So I think that's the first time I had that experience. Well, right now I'm still struggling again because of Professor Peter Isu, because he won't allow me rest. He has forced me back to continue doing a master's at the University of Uyo, and we're hoping that we can come off with that one. We can pull that through, yeah.
Definitely, I'm sure you're going to be able to pull that off. I mean, it takes relentless determination to just listen to the radio and say, I am going to do this thing, and then go ahead to do it. But I want to come from a different angle. A lot of people know the Michael Bush of 20 Questions.
Yeah.
A lot of people know the Michael Bush that is on radio, that is on TV, the Michael Bush that started private media business in Akwa Ibom State and took it outside the shores of Akwa Ibom State. But I'd like to know, apart from all of these media engagement that you've been involved in, what other things have Michael Bush and the brand Bush have been involved in?
Fantastic question. Okay, but before I answer that, let me just correct a little impression. And I don't know for how long I'll have to keep doing this, but I'll never tire of it. I will keep doing it. Credit for the first person to start private broadcasting, like that, independent production on television in Akwa Ibom should not come to me. It is not mine. It actually belongs to a man called Mr. Samuel Ekpenyong. Unfortunately, he died a few years back in time, but he still he remains the owner of that. I'm not going to ever grab somebody's right and say, oh, this is mine. So it's Mr. Samuel Ekpenyong started. I think that was ABN TV, because I remember coming back when I was still trying to find my way through radio. He was already doing that. I think on AKBC TV or NTA, but he was doing that. The only credit that might come to me, really, really are insistent, is the one for radio. I blessed the throne for radio, and even took it nationally and all of that. So, but other things that we've done great things. We've done great things, but unfortunately, I'm not one that that likes some of those bragging rights. But I've also realized, in Akwa Ibom especially, if you don't beat your drum, somebody's going to collect it from you and beat it for himself. And that's why you find sometimes the people end up in high political offices. They're not like that. Okay, so I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, right now, because if you have done 30 years and you haven't got into trouble, you should not get into trouble after 30 years. Okay, so but we've done great things. The one that that is in my mouth to say, but which my small knowledge of the Bible is forcing me to not do, because the Bible has warned us what you do with your right hand, what good you do with your right hand, the left should not know about. It is the generosity, it's the life we've done. We even run a Bush House Foundation that we've been doing things on the wraps. I think it's just 2 days ago that I finally, after about 10, 12 years of Bush House Foundation, accepted for it to go public and all of that. So we've done great things in the area of generosity. We've done great things in the area of selflessness, trying to help society. We've done great things, as you said, in the area of mentoring. As a matter of fact, I'd like to dwell on that one. We've done fantastically well in mentoring. You said hundreds. I can tell you millions. I can tell you, some of them virtually, some of them people who were met physically, and right now they are spread far beyond the media realm. You know, they are in the academy. I have people I've mentored who are lecturing in the university across the world, in Australia, in Europe, in the Americas, and all of that. And then we also have them even in this country, and all of that, and we continue to inspire them. And you know, even one of our homegrown mentees is the Honorable Commissioner for for Information Now and Strategy, Comrade Niememe Bong. It's the product of Bush House, Nigeria, Nekeme Fimba, Okun, Lagos, Utanga Kwaibum. I could go on and on and all of
Great
that.
name.
And, yes, and I'm just thankful. So, but 3 years ago, we decided to formalize this mentoring aspect because I really need to raise the bar with it. And now we have the Michael Bush Mentoring Academy. We've done 3 streams so far. There's class 2021, there's class 2022, there's class 2023, that's about 6 months old. And then finally, the class 2024 will start off in January. Now, the secret of our mentoring program is that it's different. It's not structured like a classroom place, and above all, is an eternal arrangement. I don't think mentoring is something you just do 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. No. At Bush House Nigeria, with Michael Bush as a brand, we do mentoring forever.
Awesome. Giving back to the next generation after 30 years is an imprint everyone should have. And having journeyed this far, would also like to ask, what are the peculiar experiences in terms of challenges, breaking even in an industry that you were not necessarily trained for? What are some of the challenges you experienced and how did you overcome them? Because like you said, it took you listening to people inside the box to have your dream. Some people have been following you for 30 years. They want to dream, but they need to be able to implement. What's that journey been like?
Beautiful question. I'll tell you, challenges, I don't know. I don't know what is my oneness. Seriously, I don't know. But I've never worried about those things. Believe me, I never see them. And when you see that, sometimes marks of immodesty or pride, but why not? I've never worried about challenges because if you want to look at them, it seems like life itself is fond of magnifying every small challenge that comes your way, and basically it comes from human beings. The challenges that I've faced, they come from human beings. I just look at them like some springboards, some stepping stone, and I hit the sky flying there from. Essentially, for instance, he comes, he does all the things you're supposed to do. He calls me up, talks with me, wants me to come on his program. I give my word. But film, it's a live program. I don't turn up. That can be so frustrating. And some, especially in this state, are so big, they don't even pick their phones to say, oh, I'm not coming. So you are there. I have had a case. It was a commissioner, a super powerful commissioner for works in this state. We all know him. So he booked our program by himself that he was going to come for 2 hours because I run my programs, the list program I can run on radio right now after 30 years must be 2 hours or 3 hours or more. So I have a 2-hour live program. You call me because I don't do money. I don't pay me before you come. I don't think that is media, so I've never done it. You book Thursday, I go there. I find myself from start to finish, 120 minutes on live radio, and I'm paying. No show. I call, you don't pick. You allow 5 days. You call, oh, sorry. Oh, the boss, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Let's fix tomorrow. I go back again, you don't come. I call, you don't pick. The last time you call again, and I said, Honorable Commissioner, don't try you. You do it the 3rd time. I just sit on live TV and call you out. And told him how dishonorable what he was doing, that I don't know who made him Honorable Commissioner and all of that. So it's got to that stage. And every broadcaster, every journalist must get to that point in their career that you just say, no, this one, enough is enough, because otherwise they're never going to change. That's number one. Number two, another politician, he was in the Senate I think he's still in the Senate. And so he invites me by himself to fly to Abuja to interview him. I get to Abuja. I call him. he doesn't pick the phone. I'm in Abuja for 1 whole week. Till today, he hasn't apologized for it. And you think that me, I would ever have anything to do with him or even interview him again? Not. I don't know what he can do, you know. And it's not about anger or this. It's just for you, no matter how small you think you are in your life, or how poor, or how lowly, know your place. Don't allow people use your head and keep reducing themselves in the name of reducing you and all of that. So those are some of the challenges. And then some people do money business with you. You don't see the money. They don't support you. You know, people are desperate not to support you. They're desperate to keep. For instance, this is. I'm happy to be here. This is the rural land. Mr. Tony Afe has done fantastic work. I would love him to do a book. Recently planned. I think you're still in your 10th anniversary, right?
Yes,
Great.
we are.
Yes, he even sent me a broadcast that you did fantastic stuff. I would love him, perhaps next year or while targeting the 15th anniversary, to do a book and discuss what help he has got. But if you were Igbo, if you were Yoruba, if you were extraneous, if you were not from Akwa Ibom, I'm sure even Akwa Ibom people and the authorities shall be falling and rising to help. What kind of people are we, you know? So my message, let us try and look inwards. Support our brands, support our young people. I've given my life to supporting young people. There is no young person who has encountered me and not said that I added one value one way or the other, you know, and that's the message that I want to see. I don't look at it as challenges. I just think that we should build on it. And talking about challenges, finally, it's a critical thing to look at two aspects of the Akwa Ibom life. Number one is mental re-engineering. Our mindset, my God, is horrible. It's real. I wish I could speak. Anytime I want to say something negative about the Akwa Ibom man, I'd rather I said it in the BBO because I don't want to export bad energy about our state. But so that I don't break it down, I just say we need to rework our mental re-engineer mindset. We need to re-engineer our mentality. And number two, we need to work on our heart. We seem to have too much of what we call idiocy and all of that. Until we do that, I don't think that this state will continue to move forward the way it should go. Because if you see, what are we looking at? We have a brand new governor. See the energy is bringing. But there's still some people who are, so sometimes you wonder what the heck is going on.
Okay. Now, I know you don't like to blow your trumpet. And I know that you
Don't
might
be too
not,
sure. Don't be too sure.
I know that you might not even remember, but within the short span of me being in the entertainment industry in Akwa Ibom State, I think one of my most disappointing moments was when the late Ndoko Akwa Ibom passed on. And a lot of people came praising themselves and how much of help they were to her. And I recall as her manager that the only person who answered our call was you. And the only person who gave us a contact who actually reached out to help was you. And that happens to be Barrister, God, how would I forget his name? Barrister Noidem.
Oh,
the then legal advisor. Yes, Barrister Emmanuel Noidem. But after her passing...
Oh, yes, I remember. The slim young woman. Okay.
Yes. So after her passing, everybody came to see how much they gave her, how much they supported her. And when I was called to be part of that event, I just said, I'm not going to be part of it. Sure. And everybody saw it as being cocky, being arrogant, being proud. And I just couldn't bring myself to see you did not give help when this person was alive and neither that help. And now the person is dead. Everybody that never offered one single item of help is coming to claim what they didn't do. So that is something we really need to work on in Akwa Ibom State. I mean, I totally agree with it. But then, just talking to you now, I'm picking a whole lot of lessons that will help me process this.
I'm the boss, and I'm not the boss for nothing.
Absolutely, because this is a conversation we try to have very often, and like you said, we are careful not to paint the Akwa Ibom man negatively on national TV. Yeah. But then, like you said, social re-engineering, mental re-engineering is very important. We have a lot of brands. We were at the Ibom Air event yesterday, and someone was saying we have gotten to a place where we are no longer seen as the Ekaites and the Okons, but we have not gotten to the place where we stand hand to hand with each other and push our dreams forward. Like you were trying to point out, Planet Radio has been here for 10 years. If we take a camera to the road that leads into this facility, people won't believe that this place, this place has seen different administration.
Absolutely. Yes, I don't even believe in myself. Believe me, you know, this is the first time I've been here, the TV wing. You know, I'm really, really impressed. I can tell you, and I think that Mr. Tony Afia himself, we should study him. He should become some course. I'm not blowing his trumpet. I'm not praising him after all, you know. But for him to have the heart to bring this $1 billion investment to a place like this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I believe I come from a place called Ekpenokum. They say that I love Ekpenokum. I believe so. Even our whole media setup is going to be there. But here is a man who really loves where he comes from. He loves Akwa Ibom, he loves Urwan, he loves Ibiakuran. And I'm super, super, super proud that I know him.
So let's break down the enigma of Aquara Michael Bush. We know the the astute speaker, and I was also going to go to 20 questions.
Absolutely.
If you do us something quick on 20 questions, I remember as a young girl, we just stay by that radio, and then you just hear 20 questions, and then he'll reel them out. Some of those very, what do we call them? Civic education. There's a proper word for it. It's not coming. But then we get educated through those questions. Yeah. But let's get to know the man, Michael Bush. What is your life like on a normal day? Family life, the things that pushes you to pursue your dreams.
Yeah. I don't know what I have in life. I don't know. Yesterday, I was asked the same question on radio, and I said that I needed to apologize even to family. Probably that's why I have only one child. You know, I've been too busy on radio and on TV. You know, so I can only apologize to family. Looks like 30 years. I totally gave it to radio, and I believe me, radio is my life. Perhaps I shouldn't even have been married in the first place. Yeah, because I've totally given everything to radio. For instance, the day I started radio was my matriculation day at the University of Uyo. I only went there after I'd done the radio. Can you imagine? You can imagine. So radio for me has always been, and in fact, and I hope my lecturers are not watching, even throughout the 7 years I spent at the University of Uyo on a 4-year course, partly because of industrial actions here and there. You know, I would tell you, sometimes I skipped classes for radio because I just needed to build a brand. I knew that, not my degree. I knew that my degree, yes, it's good to be educated.
What did you pursue as a first degree?
French, you won't even believe it. French. And so I knew that even that French, I just wanted to be able to feel among as a graduate. I knew that my life was radio and TV and the print, you know. So I did that, and I continue to say that I'm just grateful for what radio has done for me. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. What do you do for fun?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, wow.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't drink even Fanta, not wine. Never tested that since the 16th of February, 1990. I used to drink Coke. As a matter of fact, I believe that everyone has to really, really slow down in their lives, because I was in Cameroon up until 1990-91. And, you know, in Cameroon, they are very hedonistic people, very happy hour people. Their beer parlors open every day at 5 a.m. and close at 2 a.m. Serious. So my Cameroonian friends, anytime we go out footballing, I played so much football when I was much younger. And then when we finish, we have to sit down at a beer parlor. You know, my father owned in a line of them, owned supermarkets, owned fishing ports. So when we come to this beer parlor, they would take their beer. I always end up with Coke. I would take like sometimes 36 bottles of Coca-Cola every day. That's why I've had 2 pile surgeries, you know, because of that. And so it's just good that on the 16th of February, I woke up one day because of a dream by my mother, which is another story entirely. And I said, okay, enough. I'll never drink again the rest of my life. So for all those years, I've only been drinking water. And I'm super, super little. So there's really no fun for me. Fun is just radio. Even if I were ill, just give me radio. Just tell me I have a radio program or a radio interview. I'll be well. I'll just go do it. So I believe I'm in love. I'm madly in love with radio. Radio too is in love with me. Radio has done so much for me. Has protected me. Radio doesn't report me. Radio doesn't complain about me. Radio doesn't knock me, you know, because those are the small things that I don't like in my life that I walk away, you know, easily from, and all of that. So that's it. No fun for me. I
In
don't.
this day where we will, like, have like big men will go, what's that thing that?
Champagne.
No, it's not even popping
No.
champagne.
Okay, golf.
Golf.
Well, yeah. My elder brother, somebody I'm very particular about, somebody I'm very in love with. The Right Honorable Barrister Usenabo Akpabi has done everything under the sun to get me to do golf. In fact, when our last trip to the United States of America, I remember he took me to a golf shop and I was just shopping. I bought golf things, all those things that have now expired because I didn't get to do it. I worry about my, doing things with my hand when I'm a leg guy,
Oh yeah.
So I worry about that. I think that's the only thing he has not been able to convince me to do, and somewhat he has given up. I hope he watches this and says, who told you I've given up and all of that. So, yeah, I'm not able to do that. I'm not even like a social guy like that, go to places. You will never see me even at outings. You hardly. Just think about events. If there have been 1,000 events, you see me perhaps at 3.
Doesn't that rub off negatively on, sustaining social relationships? Because sometimes there's a tendency to say, oh no, Akbarawa Bush is too proud. He doesn't attend people's events.
People are going to always call you names. But, the person that uses some words on you, if you check, that word belongs to him. I'm not a proud person. I can never be because I know God too much. Do you understand? I know the son of a fisherman, that's who I am. But God, see where God has brought me, see where he's taken me, and then I carry my shoulders. No, that's why he would tell you, he invited me here, he didn't need any stuff. By the time he called me, so I hope you are in your way. I was already here. It's just that you are road. My God, the road to Ibiakuran is the worst in West Africa. And I believe that Pastor Moyeno, as governor of Akwa Ibom State, will soon bring some sunshine this way.
We believe that. We believe God for that.
He would do it. He would do
that
it.
would be the best news.
Yes,
but,
he would do it.
But this has been so inciting and very educating, I must say. Things to think about and things to smile about. Imagine not drinking.
Yes, sure.
Crazy drink.
I'm imagining how your happy hour in the next 4 years is going to be like.
And we're even running a radio program 3 hours every Friday, happy hour.
But in the advent of like this tiger nut juice, Zobo, and all the likes, do you do those alternatives?
Yes, I do fruits.
Okay.
I do fruits basically, but how many can you take? I'm just a water guy. As a matter of fact, in my car now there are 2 bottles. Do you understand? As a matter of fact, before I even got into the studios, I took some.
Healthy living, really healthy.
Maybe that's something I need to burn.
We'll try our best. We'll try our best. But this is what I'm going to.
It doesn't come easy though.
It doesn't. It doesn't, because the taste for those things just really
absolutely, especially Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Oh,
Coca-Cola is crazy.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask as we wrap up. This is the testament and all of that.
Yeah, great question again. I'm a one day at a time guy, and that's something I want to sell to both of you and your viewer. Forget the future. You understand? I kept focusing on the future and I missed some part of my life. For instance, if you are sitting there some part of my life, as we sit here today, if you asked me about what happened when I was 34, between when I was 34 and when I was 49, I won't remember. And I have such beautiful, such retentive memory, but I don't have anything on when I was 34 up until when I was 49. Why? Because I kept focusing, I want to do this. I had my radio license, I had my TV license, I want to do this. No, don't do that. Even the Bible is very categorical. It says, worry, care about today, live tomorrow. Do you understand?
Doesn't that affect having 5-year goals, 10-year goals, long-term goals? How do you juxtapose that?
Sweetheart, you may not have any goal. Have the goal. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it, but whether you have it for 5 years, like Nigeria, when I was much younger, hell for all by the year 2000. Then they shifted it, hell for all by the year 2010. Hell for all 2020. Now they have even forgotten it. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Do you understand? So, no, I'm not saying that it's not good to do those. They don't focus. Don't be, especially young people. They don't enjoy them. I want to get married. I want to do that. And suddenly you get married. And it's like, oh, I didn't even enjoy my, what I call singlitude and all of that.
Wow.
Since you've been involved with a lot of mentoring activities, I'd just like to ask, there are a lot of youngsters in Akwa Ibom State, outside the shores of Akwa Ibom State, who are aspiring to get to where you are. I'm among those persons.
Amen.
What would be your advice to people like us to help us navigate this industry?
Be yourself. Take your eyes off money. Don't be focused on money, otherwise you're going to miss your way, especially if you want to do this job. So don't insist. Once you finish interviewing me, that's the end. Walk me to my car. Goodbye, sir. Not you go to a job and you are milling around waiting for brown envelope. It reduces you. And it doesn't even reduce you only in the eyes of people. It reduces you in the eyes of you. And that is a critical problem. You grow up and you start feeling inadequate, incomplete, small, and all of that. So, and learn. Open your eyes, open your head. Learn. You do not only learn within the four walls of a classroom. Even somebody who is not educated, even the cameraman could teach you something who is not as educated as you are. And then also be humble. Let people teach you. Be teachable yourself. People point out mistakes. Welcome them. Do you understand? Who are you to? Don't do that. Because otherwise you're just cutting yourself short and you're making you're creating enemies for yourself. Focus on your job, get as much information as learn. There's no harm in learning. People are coming to learn, read up stuff, listen to other great speakers, and then above all, be yourself. Don't want to copy someone else, and don't pick up an accent that you cannot sustain. Do you understand? You find many people on TV and radio in Akwa Ibom, American accent. Are you speaking to Americans? Do you understand? No. Are you speaking to Americans? Because the moment you use a foreign accent, you even disconnect your audience.
Some people, yeah.
If you don't speak, if you speak and I don't understand, I don't hear you, you're not communicating as far as I'm concerned.
But so there is a part of like an unwritten rule in some of these organizations, especially, yes. Well, how can I sound the way all of you sound? But I'm like, you really don't need to have an accent to be in the media.
Even that Americanness, that Americana is an accent.
Definitely.
Do you understand? When an American says water, it's not, it's an accent. So why are you so, is it unconfident? Is it a word like that? So why is so inferior? Why do you feel so inferior? Why do you suffer so much inferiority complex to the extent that you want to use another person's accent, not yours?
Wow, this has been full.
Do you understand?
This has been full, and we could definitely talk to Aquara Sir Michael Bush for hours.
I like the Sir part. I like the Sir part. I don't like two titles in my name, but I like the Sir part.
I did something right today. But it's been a bumper harvest on Rise and Shine. And I would really love you to go back to this particular interview because there's a lot of, intellectual germs inside the things that we've conversed about. How would you do that? You need to be following us across all social media platforms at spectrumtv.ng. We will definitely take this conversation to Twitter at spectrumtonline. My name is Uyai Anek, and of course, I first of all need to say big thank you to Sir Michael Bush.
Thank you.
30 years and counting in the media industry. Thank you for giving us your time and sharing your wealth of knowledge.
It was very nice to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for inviting me, and congratulations to Planet. I don't know when Spectrum will grow to 10 years so for us to meet up with Planet. So Spectrum, no matter what you do, you're still a kid,
We're coming. We are coming. We are okay with our pace.
And then you also brought another phenomenon, thanks you, my God. 102.7, my God. So I congratulate you. I celebrate with the TAF Media Group, with the entire family, and wish you tremendous well. Akwa Ibom is the place to be.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Francis, and this is how far we'll go today on Rise and Shine. Wishing you a very beautiful, blessed weekend.
Okay, now I actually appreciate